What's up, guys? Welcome to my second podcast with Coach Kyle Forbes from Palm Beach State College in Florida. He was an associate scout for the Brewers, Braves, and Indians. In 2013, the Panthers were ranked 6th in the nation with an outstanding 41-17 record. Coach Forbes was awarded the FCSAA Coach of the Year award as well as the ABCA Regional Coach of the Year. He was also named Southern Conference Coach of the Year twice so far in his career. So let's jump right in and see what keys Coach Forbes has for us today.
Three team rules I've stole from Whitey Herzog, the old St. Louis manager who was a legend. And the three rules are to be on time, to always play hard, and to do things right, both on and off the field.
Awesome. I love that. I'm also a coach at JUCO, and one of my focuses is player development and helping the players get to the next level. Do you have that same approach, or does it differ?
No, that's I think that is what junior college athletics is all about. Anybody who comes to our college to play any sport, their goal is to move on to a four-year university after they play for Palm Beach. So we take great pride in placing all of our players that want to continue playing at a four-year school, when they're finished playing for us. That I think that's the purpose of junior college. A normal practice day would be they have their classes in the morning, and I'm an academic advisor, so I help them make their schedule, and they'll start classes from 8 a.m. and they'll go till about 12:30. Then they have lunch, and then we have early work at our place at about 1:30, and we'll have like one group of players a day, either the infielders or the next day the outfielders, the next day the catchers, that kind of thing, to try to get some individual work. And then the full squad arrives at 2:30, and we normally practice from 2:30 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a norm. And then they go and get dinner and go back to their apartment or home, wherever they live, and hopefully, crack a book and study.
We only hope so.
Right. I don't pick captains because I feel like the guys, if I do pick a captain, I think sometimes that puts unnecessary pressure on them. So what I do is just whether we only have freshman or sophomore, obviously being at a JUCO, but the leaders naturally emerge, and I just let that happen naturally. So I've never believed in picking captains because then they feel like they have to play that role, where I want the leaders to play the role because they're just being themselves. I want everyone to be themselves. If you're a rah-rah guy, that's fine. If you're a quiet guy, that's fine. But I do want the main focus for everyone to be the team.
I agree. And this is a question that is kind of brought up often when talking about leaders. Do you think leaders are born, or they could learn to be a leader?
I'm not really sure. I guess they learn, probably from their home life. How are they raised by their parents? What kind of coaches did they play for in the younger divisions of baseball, as far as little league and junior high school baseball, travel ball? I think some guys will emulate the guys they play for. I know, like when I was a youngster, one of the best baseball guys I ever had was a man named Clyde Harris, who coached youth baseball in Boynton Beach, Florida, and was an amazing human, and talking about instilling values and hard work and whatnot. So I think the answer to your question is that leaders probably learn from others as they grow, and I think a lot of times the coaches they had, whether it's in baseball or in another sport, will probably affect how they behave, because they're going to emulate their mentors.
Yeah, I think I kind of always tell my players we're a hybrid of everyone that we meet. So, for coach in a youth atmosphere, we might pick up something there, and then if we go to JUCO, we pick up something from that coach, and then we start blending in our environment from home, environment from school, environment from baseball, and that's who we ultimately become.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think for a player to choose junior college baseball, they need to, truly love the sport, because there's no glory. Our crowds at our home games are just family and friends. So as far as motivation, if I have to motivate them to come to practice and come to games where we are, it's a 25 game fall season that goes from Labor Day to the middle of November, and then the spring season will go from like January 5 all the way to the beginning of May. It's a daily um, grind where you really need to enjoy the game, because there is a massive time commitment for junior college baseball. So, I hope that I don't have to motivate them, to do it on a daily basis because they love it. And that's not always the case. There are guys that don't, but you hope that if they choose this level, they're doing it because they do love to play, and they'll come to a junior college like ours because they want playing time, as a freshman or sophomore. And like we said before, with the goal of moving on to a four-year school. So, um, you know, coaches will give, speeches before big games and whatnot, try to motivate them in that situation. But on a daily basis, I'll cross my fingers as a coach and hope that I have a team that actually enjoys the sport and enjoys, coming to practice, on a regular day.
Yeah, I agree. I had an opportunity to speak with another coach, and he said if us as a coaching staff needs to bring the energy to the team, then that's a problem.
No doubt. Well, I would say that if they have the mindset of, trying to win that pitch and trying to, have success during that at bat and just playing the game inning by inning. Augie Garrido, probably one of the best coaches in the history of the game. He would preach to his guys. He won 1,000,000 games, and he would preach to his guys, just, one pitch at a time, inning by inning. And then if you can, win that pitch, if you can win that inning, at the end of the game, the score will take care of itself. So, if we are down in a game, then, you've heard coaches say, well, let's just chip away. And I think if you just take it one pitch at a time, that's the best way to play this sport. These guys have chosen a sport that is very difficult. I think that the skills involved of hitting a ball on a barrel when a guy is running up there 89 to 92 is difficult. So just try to simplify it where it's one pitch at a time, one at bat at a time, and if they are down, hopefully you can come back and try to win it in the end. Well, I think the mental aspect of the game is huge, because on our level, and now this is 2020, this is happening more than ever. We will get players that have very good baseball skills, but they seem like they're either I'm getting grumpier as I get older, or they're as far as their knowledge of the game is something where they come in and they might have good baseball ability, but they're inexperienced. So my goal is, if a guy plays for us for 2 years and he's a position player, he's going to get 400 at bats. And I think that it's a combination of getting playing time on the field and teaching them the fundamentals of the game. They're definitely going to be inexperienced when they get here, and we hope to give them the coaching as far as the mechanics of the game and the mental aspect of the game. For example, just having a plan when you go to the plate. You have a plan as far as what you're trying to do. When the count is 2-0 versus when the count is 1-2. Just as far as the mental aspect of the game is something that what we hope for at our program is when they have played for us for 2 years, that they move on to the next level, the next chapter in their lives. Hopefully, having an understanding of how to play good fundamental sound baseball. That's my goal. My advice is to play the game. And what I mean by play the game is, oftentimes we'll have a freshman and we'll be, discussing where he's going to play during the summer between his freshman year and his sophomore year, and he'll say, well, Coach Forbes, I decided to, not play on a summer team, and I just want to, to lift and get bigger and get stronger. And I try to discourage kids from doing that because this is a game of skill, and you need to play the game, whether you're a pitcher or a position player, to learn, how to win. And what I mean is, if a guy doesn't play for a summer and goes home and say, well, I'm just going to lift weights this summer, obviously, strength training has become very advanced in baseball, and that's a huge part of it. But my advice to guys is to, play, try to play in the best competition possible, whatever level you're at. So, when you are facing, if you're a position player and you're facing a real talented pitcher that day, you've done it before. And if you're a pitcher and you're facing a tough lineup, you've done it before, because that's the only way you're going to get better at it. I think baseball is a game you need to play and listen to your coaches and whatnot. And obviously, practice plays a big role in that, and as far as learning the fundamentals. But I think it's a game that you need to play in order to get experience. And that's why guys spend time in the minor leagues. I mean, look at the draft. They'll draft guys that have unbelievable skill set, but yet they won't play in the big leagues for 3 or 4 years because they have to play the game to learn what it takes to play at that certain level. So that's my advice for young guys. I would say to listen. I was very, very fortunate where the first coaching job I ever got was under a legend. His name was Kevin Cooney. He was the coach at Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, which is a very successful program. And he was a very, very good person and extremely smart. And I learned a lot from him, my first job. And still to this day, I'm still quoting him when I'm giving the team speeches and whatnot, because he did a wonderful job with the team. So my advice to young coaches is to listen to the other coaches, and like you said before, if you can listen to the different coaches, and like we have the ABCA convention where the speakers are up there, and these are just fabulous baseball people from different levels. Is listen and take a little bit from each guy, and try to incorporate that into your personal coaching. If you can listen to them and learn from them, then you can put it into your teaching and try to help the players.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we're a hybrid, and we're just grabbing little from here, a little from there, a little from here, just like hitting mechanics. You might have a leg kick because you see A-Rod growing up, and you might be inside out hitter because you see Jeter. So it's just developing a hybrid lifestyle.
My coaching style is I want the guys to play hard, respect the game. I don't allow our team to run their mouths. Like I don't allow them to chirp at the opponents. I don't allow them to argue with the umpires. I want them to respect the game and play the game right. And when I mean play the game right, I'm talking about always hustling. I mean, you've heard the term a hard 90. I don't like it when players jog from home to first. I mean, you're only going to bat 4 times a day, so run hard down the line, play hard on defense, back up plays. I think there's a lot of little things that encompass playing the game right. And it can be, a million things that don't show up in the box score. So as far as what we try to instill in our players is to, respect your opponent, respect the nuances of the game as far as, what is right and what is considered, something that is, not conducive to good fundamental baseball, and hopefully our guys can play with some energy and, score more runs than the other team. I think it's huge. I think at our level, junior college head coaches and assistant coaches do it for one reason, and that's because they love it. Our assistant coaches at my place do a fabulous job, and they do it because they want to help the players. And I have a staff of guys that, there is, as far as junior college assistant salaries, Obviously, that there's no doubt that they are not doing it for the money. They're doing it because they love coaching and they want to help the players. So I think that your assistant coaches play a massive role in the success of your program. I mean, we're fortunate where we have guys that work with each position, and to answer your question, their communication skills with those players is huge, and there's a trust factor there where those players have to trust that what they're teaching them is sound fundamental baseball, and our players know that our assistant coaches care about them as players / humans, and if that happens, then you can have a program that has I guess the word's good harmony, where the players are respectful to the staff and listening, and that everyone's on the same page, where they're trying to get better on a daily basis, and our assistant coaches are trying to help them. So I think the communication's huge. Well, my head coach here at Palm Beach, I was an assistant for 5 years, and it was real simple. If a guy has any track record in his closet of lying, cheating, or stealing in any aspect of life, then that's a no, and that's going to discourage us from. I mean, obviously that's not an Einstein statement, but in any type of those areas is because there's a lot of players out there, and we don't want to bring guys in that don't have good qualities. And we have a melting pot in our program where we got players from all different backgrounds, but the main thing is that I want guys that like baseball, that are motivated to do well in their classes, and pursue excellence on the field. So we're looking for guys with those traits, and hopefully bring in a good group that can work together. Well, people are attracted to our program because of the climates. You're from New York. I'm guessing it's probably in the 20s right now, 30 degrees.
About, yeah.
Okay.
35,
well,
yeah.
Today it's 84. So our climate, our campus is a mile from the beach. Our climate is very warm, which is conducive for baseball. So we are very fortunate with the combination of the climate and being in a talent-rich area. South Florida, the three main counties around me are Palm Beach County, Dade County, and Broward County, and there is a huge selection of high schools that have a ton of players that are very good. So we're lucky as far as where our location is. I have a campus that supports athletics. So it's a good place to play for a bunch of reasons, but obviously the location with the weather is huge.
Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe to my new channel. I'll be posting more interviews with college coaches, professional players, and also drills. So make sure to click on that subscription button and get notified.